Please go. A symposium on courtesan culture and women performers in India from the 18th to the 20th century. Tawaif. This is happening on the 27th. And registrations are at the website, which is avidlearning.in. avidlearning.in. And there is a registration button there. You can click on that. Post which there is a wonderful performance, a tribute to Begums and Baijis of Bollywood, the first women of Hindi cinema. This is a performance by Manjari, and that you will get tickets at insider.in, and also at the box office. The last leg of conversation.
This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
So this is actually just another aspect of the Courtesan project. Explain what the Courtesan project is.
The larger umbrella of the Courtesan project is where we bring stories of these many Tawaifs and Baijis who we do not know today. So there are different, like for example, if I may share with you that, who are the poets that we know today? The poets that we know are largely the poets who have written for Bollywood, and Bollywood has sung them as songs. Now, go back 200 years. There was no Bollywood, there was no Hindi cinema. So who were the poets actually aspired for a Tawaif to sing them? Because if a Tawaif sang them in a mehfil, they suddenly got this fame. People knew about it. So there was such a symbiotic culture, a relationship, if I may say, between the poets and the Tawaifs or the Baijis who sang. And we are telling interesting stories, like a story between Dag Dehelvi and Munni Bai, who Munni Bai was the greatest performer of that time. Dag Dehelvi was the greatest poet of that time, and he largely wrote poetry for her, so she became his muse. So most of the time we find that, the muse of the poet was a courtesan or a Tawaif who sang or danced to his poetry. And we tell stories about that. So there's a story between Mirza Ghalib and Nawab Jan, which is in one of in Mirza Ghalib's letter, there is a poetry dedicated to a Tawaif. So we recreated a whole story around it, that the muse is as important as the artistic work. So we cannot write off the muse by merely saying that, oh, that was just a nachne wale, gaane wale. But the poetry is important, because it has a very symbiotic relationship. So we tell these many stories. Then there's one story which is called Uf Malka Jaan, which is the story of an incredible woman dancer who was at the Wajid Ali Shah's court. And her daughter was Gohar Jaan, which is a very popular story for people. But Malka Jaan and Gohar Jaan together, the mother and daughter, ruled Calcutta entertainment scene for 50 years.
Wow. Okay. I also noticed that on your Facebook page you have a snippet of a performance which is Krishna stories or performances written by Muslim poets. How wonderfully secular is that?
That's one of the projects that I did a couple of years back, and that was largely to bring to forefront the traditions that we have in Awadh, which are purely syncretic. In Awadh, in Lucknow, where I was born and I lived in, you are not taught secularism in books. You live them. And that is the truth. And that I wanted to bring to the forefront. And we have this huge, everybody knows Kakori kebabs, if I may say. But people do not know that Kakori is a small town where there is a brilliant Sufi tradition where they wear orange or saffron and they sing or write Krishna. So I brought that to the forefront, and I told people that, look here, there are kavalis written on Krishna. People dance and sing to Krishna. There is such a beautiful tradition that brings together both the communities at one place. Why do we think that it's so impossible to do it today? If it was possible to do it hundreds of years back, it is possible to do it today. So there are beautiful traditions that we need to keep alive and we need to share with people. And that was the whole process behind it. And I wrote it as Radha Ras, how Muslim poets have written Krishna and celebrated the love of Krishna and Radha, who are largely Hindu gods.
Manjari, thank you so much for rolling by. It's been a wonderful learning experience for me, and I'm sure for everybody who's heard. And see you on the 27th. Bye-bye. See you. Messages and back.